We got a. Alright, okay, this is a podcast. Welcome back to the first episode of my first podcast. Oh, geez. Alright, well, this is going to be just the greatest episode that you've ever heard because it's my first try. I don't need those, actually. I don't need them. Don't know why I had them on. Well, I was using my computer is why I had it on. So, the first thing I want to talk about is, there's like no good way to say it. My mind is a little bit sporadic sometimes. It goes different places. And, following is going to be quite the achievement if you're able to do that. So, I'm going to work on it. That's like my goal of these podcasts is to get better at speaking. Because I need to be able to speak for long periods of time about certain topics and able to get my point across without stuttering or doing anything like that. The first thing is I'm not going to listen to the doubt in my head. Anything that comes out of my mouth is going to have some value, and if I take a little while to get to a point, it doesn't really matter as long as I get to that point in the end. And if I don't, it doesn't matter either because, well, maybe it does. We don't know. It probably kind of does because for the listener, it would be nice if I had points. But yeah, so basically the style of this podcast will be I just have a topic and I will talk about it and hopefully I'll be able to talk for more than like podcast length, I guess. I'm not really sure how long I'm going to talk. We'll just figure that out on the way. But yeah, I'm just like super excited to do this. It's going to be hyped. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll go great. It'll go awesome. And I'm going to try to do this as much as I can just to get the reps in and to just do it. Yeah. So it's really late. I probably shouldn't be drinking that. Well, it's not really late, but it's like getting there. It's currently 7:07. I go to bed at 9 now. And the reason for that brings us to our first topic, which is how to achieve success. Or achieve your goals or success, which is in my opinion, I don't know, is success achieving your goals? I feel like they go hand in hand. That makes sense to me. I'm going to change the shirt because it's like oversized. Well, I guess they don't. I feel like I'm not professional. This is like look at this. Yeah, this is terrible. I'm going to put on an actual... I don't know if that was necessary, but I feel like I look much more professional. I don't look like I'm about to go to bed. Or just woke up or whatever. Oh, my hair is just looking just absolutely awful. I don't really care about my hair, to be honest. I don't know why I said that. It's looking fine. Okay. Well, it's looking how it usually does is what I mean. I don't mean that it's looking just wonderful. But anyway, okay. So... lately I've been a lot more productive than usual, and I feel like it's just kind of the time to start focusing on what to do for success. And I get paranoid about who's listening to me because I don't live alone, and I live with people, and it's really embarrassing to do these. So if I stop, then that is why I just getting self-conscious. But This is a Rain, the gummy bear one. They've got like orange dreamsicle, which is really good. I really like orange creamsicles. Those are tasty. And white gummy bears. And that's the two flavors that I noticed they had. So that's just wonderful for me in my coffee addiction. So, yeah. So we're talking about success. And it comes down to like your definition of success, because there can be like successful losers. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. That might not make sense. But I feel like what makes sense more is, can I see how long I've recorded? 6 minutes. Okay, I can see. Sorry for interrupting there, but I feel like it comes down to definitions of success. This is like the first episode. There's gonna be a lot of like interruptions and technical difficulties, but so it comes down to your definition of success, and I feel like a more applicable way to describe this would be somebody that never finds success, like they're never happy. And I think one of the ways that you could really think of this is Buddha, or one of the perspectives that you could take is Buddha eliminating all desires. And I just learned about this in school. That's the only reason I know about it. I'm not a genius. I guess I do study philosophy a little bit, but so if you eliminate all desires, the theory is that you will, because desires are where suffering comes from. So either you aren't able to achieve those desires, and that's where suffering comes from. That's like the reason that you suffer. And so if you're able to eliminate all desires, then in theory you would be happy. If you don't know the theory of Buddha, then it's basically somebody coming from everything and holding back the like being sheltered and held back from seeing all suffering. Then one day he gets out of this castle, this bubble that he's been put in, and he sees suffering and all this stuff, and so he goes on this big search for meaning, and his ultimate conclusion is that desires lead to suffering, and eliminating those desires would eliminate all suffering. So on that note, success and desires go hand in hand, because success is achieving those desires. Is that even? Maybe it's not. It's probably not. Because success can be being I feel like success is being happy where you're at in the moment. And I feel like that would be the greatest success, because no matter what you achieve, you're going to want more. It's like the one Rick and Morty episode with the fortune cookies, and the lady that achieves, she's like the most successful businesswoman in all of the world, and once she achieves that, she goes and like tries to find some other, she doesn't know what to do. Basically, she kind of freaks out a little bit once she's achieved, once Rick has forced her to achieve her success. It like wasn't what she really wanted, is what she found out. And I feel like that is pretty much true. Like if you achieve something, you're always going to want more. I haven't achieved anything big yet. Like I don't have first-hand experience of this is what I'm trying to say. But I can really imagine, and I trust everyone that's told me this, and I don't think there's any other like opinion on this really. Maybe there is, but I haven't heard it yet, or it just doesn't come to mind at this moment. But like when you achieve success, you just want more. Like if your goal was to hit $100,000, like, or your goal was to build a business or something, then you want to build another business after that because you've got the time. Like, like it's never gonna end. Like you're never gonna achieve anything because you're always gonna want to achieve more. If that doesn't make sense, really, but it's the like you'll never fulfill your deepest desires. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes, sometimes I might like say wrong things. That's just something I'll have to accept. All right, well, yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't think that is wrong. I don't think it is. I feel like, yeah, let's go back to that just so I clear myself up a little bit. I feel like, so desires, I've got to stop saying I feel like. That's something I got to pay attention to. We'll never be able to achieve our desires because once we have hit that desire, we will have another desire instantaneously, or just right after. Just right after, we'll have another desire. And so, succeeding is only possible through the moment, through recognizing, what's the word I'm trying to look for, is appreciating the moment that you're in. And really any day can be a success. Any moment is a success. Like it's all successful. Being alive is the success. Yeah, I think, yeah, being alive is the success. And so if you're just able to be grateful and look at the world in the way that it's meant to be looked at, through your eyes, then I feel like that is a success in and of itself. But yeah, so that covers the definitions of success, and then there's different ways you can achieve that success. But one, there's different ways you can achieve that success. So recently I've been a little more successful just been a little more successful lately. I started a shirt brand, just selling shirts, and it's not done very well. I've gotten 3 sales from people that I know, and that's a win, total win. But it's really just kind of pushed me to do, like I'd been talking about it for so long. That's the thing. I've been talking about it for so long. And I'd done I've like tried it and failed. I mean, that is the thing though. Another thing that is I did fail like multiple times getting to the store. But I could have done it all in a night. Like one night I could have just sat down and been like, okay, I'm going to put up this website like right now. And then I would have done it. Because that's what happened. That's really what happened. It was just one day I did it. And I mean, I did take some figuring out because I had like 2 websites before, and I had started one and I didn't really know what I wanted the website to be, so it was kind of hard to get started because I didn't exactly know what I wanted from this website. Like one I had a portfolio, and then I put shirts in like a side shop thing, and that wasn't going to work because it's got to be one niche thing. And then I had this other shirt site, which is the one that I think I used. It's the one I used. Like I just upgraded the website, but I had paid for this subscription, Wix, a Wix subscription. I don't know why I am I mean, I guess I'm using Wix because it just works. I don't know. I have an opinion on it, and it's good. It's good. It works. It works well. So that's what I'm using currently. But the hope is to just, I'm gonna see if it sustains. And anyway, but I had this other site, and I had this other site, and it wasn't under the subscription because I wanted my portfolio to be open, and I couldn't figure out how to like connect the two, and so that took like a few days, but I figured it out just like as you do, and so I got the site up and running, and I posted it, and that's the thing, is the second I posted it is when I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this is actually, people are seeing me do this. And the second I did that, I was like, oh, they're going to see me fail. Like, they are going to, like, I mean, I don't know if I'll fail. But, in fact, I won't. I'm not going to fail. But the second I posted that, I was like, oh man, people know that this has like, that I'm trying. They know that I'm trying, which means there is the potential to fail. And the second I posted that, I was just like, oh man, it is really, I didn't think about it that way before I was posting. And so yeah. But the second that happened, it really like put things into perspective, and it was like, oh, this is the time to actually start working and doing things that aren't fun all the time. Like, not doing what I want every single minute of the day. Because how I used to do it, as of like yesterday, how I used to do it as of yesterday was, I would wake up in the morning, whatever time I woke up, and then I would get out of bed, and then I would just sit for like a long time contemplating what I wanted to do, and then I would do whatever I wanted to do, which usually was just me avoiding something that I had to do, which made something that I didn't have to do and was slightly easier look more appealing. That's why I did those things. And really the only reason I would do anything is if there was a consequence for not doing it, or it was just fun. Like, it was just for fun. Like, designing, I mean, I guess I need to define what I think is fun. Like, I meant, like, creating things I think is fun. So, and I feel like it's productive. And so it gives me that, like, pleasure of being productive. And, yeah, so I, like, considered that productive because it was, like, practicing. It was practicing a craft. And, so yeah, what was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. I was practicing craft, make it productive, and I was just kind of avoiding the things that I had to do until there was no other choice but to do them. Procrastinating. I was procrastinating. I was a professional procrastinator. And I just kind of went through the days feeling what I wanted to do, doing what I wanted, and if it didn't feel like the panic monster, if you've seen that TED Talk, it's a good TED Talk. But let me look it up just so I can procrastination TED Talk. Tim Urban is the one that does that TED Talk, Inside the Mind of the Master Procrastinator, and it talks about a panic monster, and I would never do anything until a panic monster came out, which is corny and wonderful because it's cliche, but it really does. That's just how I lived my life. And as of today, that's just the 100% truth, is I started this today, So we'll see if I stick to it. And I will. I don't know if I will. I don't have any idea. Saying that out loud is kind of scary. Because I want to say that I've been doing this for years and that it's paid off. But it paid off today. And so what I did, okay. We've got to back up because I'm getting way ahead of myself. But I used to do what I wanted. The day kind of was let into chaos. It was just chaos was the day. The day was chaos. And that wasn't the best way to be productive. I got some things done. I got a lot done. Like, I really would get a lot done. It just wasn't the things that I needed to get done. Does that make any sense? It makes sense. It totally does. I feel so annoying doing this podcast because there's other people here. My family is here. I live in my parents' basement. Yeah, so set goals. Set goals, obviously. This seems so, like, I'm trying to figure out how I can convince you to set goals. But I can't. I can't convince you to set any goals. I always was the person that was like, my parents would tell me to set goals, and I'd be like, no. And that's where I would leave it. And but now I have to set goals, because there's no other choice. You are either going to just sit and, there's no other, like, you have to, like, what are you doing if you aren't setting goals? I mean that in the nicest way possible, but, like, are you doing anything? Like, I can't even think of, because everything in my life is goal-oriented now. Everything, like, as of pretty recently, too. Like, it just, everything kind of came together. And, so I set goals on this app on my phone. It's called Goal Wizard, and you have to pay for it. The fact that I paid for it is just... Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a text. I don't know who that was. So see, this is all the goals that I've achieved. Oh, you can't see that. All right, well, but you set tasks for the day, and you can set a routine, so like remind you every day, and you set long-term goals and short-term goals, and it just visualizes it for me. Like, that's the only thing I needed was a visual aid, because I'm a very visual person, and yeah, it just made sense to me to do it that way, and I paid for it, which is just like a bad financial decision because I could have done it on paper. But I paid for it, and now I'm kind of sponsoring them. I'm giving them free advertising. So anyway, but yeah, you have to pay for it. But that's kind of funny. It's like a paywall to achieve what you need, but you don't need that. So here, I'll explain it. I'll just explain what the app does. So you set alright. This is how you achieve your goals. Long-term goals and short-term goals. Set those first. Then go to your daily plan, your day-to-day routine. You have to set out your day. Every single moment of the day, not every single moment, but most of the moments, like the big chunks of time, have to be dedicated to something. Lex Friedman, let's make sure I'm doing that right. Lex Friedman, yeah, Friedman. I actually don't know how to say it. Pronunciation.
Lex Fridman.
Fridman. All right. So Lex Fridman. I said Friedman. I can just say it however I want. Not my name. But yeah, just say it however I want. So Lex Friedman. Lex Fridman. I watched a Lex Fridman video on his daily routine, and I was like, oh, that looks like he gets a lot done. Like it really like put into perspective how many, like, what he was able to get done, put into perspective what you are able to get done in a day, like how much work you can actually put in to a daily thing. And so I copied it exactly, and basically you just are going to do the exact same thing as me, which is doing, so I'm just copying him. This is my version of how to succeed, but it's just his. But so I'll tell you what I did. I did it a little bit different. I'll put on so it starts with I gotta change this. Okay. So, it starts with waking up. I wake up at 6:30. I hesitated to say that because I was debating on whether I should change it right there and then to make it earlier, but it's not. It's just 6:30. I need 8 hours of sleep, maybe more, like possibly 9. I need that. Like, I don't know. Anyway, okay, this is how it starts. So I start my day off meditating. I get up. And then this is Lex Fridman's idea, and I'm just going to repeat it to you as if it's my own content, even though I'm stealing it directly. Is this like bad? This is possibly a bad thing. Maybe I should just I'm going to go over it. I'm just going to go over it in this video, and you can watch his video. I'll link it in the description. And you should watch it, because it goes over much more detail. But basically, you wake up, list a couple things, list some mantras. I'm just going to go over it very generally, and you can watch his video to get the full gist. So you list some mantras, you visualize the day, your core principles, you list those off, and a couple other mantras. Then, right after that, is something called the 4-hour... Well, I'll just let you watch his video. But you work for a certain amount of time, and the key here is that it's focused, no distractions. It's just focused work for a certain amount of time, that for 4 hours. 4 hours. I'm like trying to debate on what I should put in so that his video still has value, and it will always have value. But yeah, so just some dedicated work, dedicated section of time where there's no distractions, nothing else, no social media. Oh, and then, well, actually, okay, so let's see if I can move that. Okay, well, first, so I changed it up a little bit because he does intermittent fasting, and I'm trying to eat as much as I can because I'm trying to gain muscle, and you gotta eat. So I eat oatmeal every day. After you gotta eat, then 4-hour session. After that, it's social media time, which means you just look social media for a maximum of however you want. Just I do 10 minutes, and then I play guitar. This is so far exactly what he does besides the breakfast thing. Then I'll exercise. Usually that means go on a run or go to the gym or something. Do exercise. One subtask I put on there is put on shoes, because I heard that the hardest part of getting something done is the best way to get something done is just do the first step. Break it down and get the first step done, and then you're off. So I said put on shoes, put on running shoes. That's the first thing I need to check off. After that, I take a cold shower, and then 30 seconds of cold. That is just something. That is just to be honest, I love it. I really love the cold shower. It's like the best thing ever, to be honest. I've done it for years. I've never broken the chain. I broke it once, consciously for some reason, just because. So I'm a little bit. I am. I'm schizophrenic, so sometimes I do weird things. And that was one of the things I did, is I consciously broke that chain of like 3 years, just so that I would remember that moment. I don't know why I did. I have no idea, actually. But anyway, so pretty much, besides like 1 or 2 days, one day, actually, just one day, I've done a cold shower every single day. And yeah, then another 4 hour, another big long session of work, dedicated work time. Then you eat, and then the last bit, he put another 4 hour session, then reading again. And I don't know if this man sleeps or something, but like he must not at all, because there's no time for sleep if you follow his schedule. So I took out the reading. Well, but yeah, I just don't know how. I had to take some things. I had to scale it back a little bit, is my point. But everything is there, and basically what I'm saying is block out your day into things that you know that are like dedicated tasks, dedicated periods of time that you know what you should be doing, what you are going to be doing, and then do that thing. This way it makes it so you know that you're going to like get to what you want to do eventually, because it's scheduled out in your day. For me, it was always like, oh, I'm going to do what I want now just to make sure that I get it done today, just in case if I don't get time later, because I'll have something else to do. But if you put like a dedicated time to do something, even if you don't finish it in that period, then you still have the rest of the day blocked out that you can do what you want. And it just makes it makes doing the hard thing so much easier, because you know you're going to have time later to do something that's easier. And yeah, so I'm following that regimen, and it's just going to, I mean, if every day goes like it did today, then I'm going to be so much more productive. Phenomenal. I'll be phenomenal. Like, phenomenal productivity. Because the schedule that I have now is like, that I was just telling you, is like 12 hours of work. Like 12 hours of dedicated study. And, well, the thing is, it's more like 8. It's more like 8 hours. 8 hours is guaranteed, pretty much. Almost guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed that I will get 8 hours done every single day. That changes with school and work. But work counts as part of that 8 hours, and school does too, in my opinion. So, well, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I didn't think that far ahead, obviously. What's going to happen when there's school? Which is tomorrow. So, yeah, I've got to go to school tomorrow. But, yeah. We'll figure it out. So, that is my plan for success. I don't know if it'll work. It'll work, though. Like, I'm positive that I feel like nothing can go wrong with this plan. Which is something that I have said before. And things have gone wrong before. But this plan, this one's gonna work, right? I don't know I don't know what I'm saying. Just, I do know what I'm saying. Yeah, right, okay. So that's my personal plan on how to get success. When thinking of success as something that you achieve, I was watching this video on building a one-person brand. It was by Dan Coe. Great YouTuber. You should check him out. And he was explaining how everything that you do will change eventually. There's no way that it should change, and it will change if you have something fulfilling that you're doing. So, like he gave the example of his freelance company thing that he was doing, and he explained how he started one way, and then over time it evolved into something else, and then over time that evolved into something else. And I feel like that is the best way to describe how something could be fulfilling for your entire life, is if you are able to, it's like, okay, so you know those games, well, you know Pokemon, right? Or or the Platypus game, or there was like so many different versions of this game, and you would like put platypuses together, and they would like evolve, and then you would you would match the same platypuses together, and then it would make a new platypus. Do you know what I'm talking about? What I'm putting down here? And there was the only point of that game was, like, there was no point. There was no point to that game. No point at all. But I played it because I wanted to see what the next evolution was, because there's no way that you can know. And I feel like that's the same with a career in life. The things that you're doing, like the activities that you're participating in right now, are going to evolve into something new all the time, or eventually, over time. And I feel like that's one of the most exciting things I've ever kind of discovered, is that, it'll just, like, that is one thing that'll push me forward when it seems hard and difficult. And so that's one thing to look forward to when achieving success, is that success is always evolving. So your definition of success is always evolving, and it's always cool to see the next stage of development and experiment with that, and you change it yourself. It's up to you. But yeah, you have to evolve, because and especially now with the world changing so quickly, I feel like evolving is, like, in layman's terms, evolving, I don't know if I use that right, but like, I might have not. That totally was wrong. So evolving your craft could totally propel you into the right direction, and you have to do it because the world is constantly changing. So yeah, I feel like basically success is defined by you. You have to build a schedule to make success happen, or else you'll be constrained by chaos, and chaos leads to the one empathy, not empathy, over time. Entropy, the law of entropy. Anything left just up to chaos will devolve, and you need to be evolving. So organization and organizing your life in a structure that will keep you on the path to success will bring you to success, inevitably. And so yeah, that's my current thoughts on success. What other things about success could I talk about? I guess success is kind of, like, what is my version of success was really just being present in the moment. I think of Oogway doing Oogway things, and he seems successful. This is going nowhere, this last part. I feel like I should keep going just to practice talking. But I feel like I'm going to find success in any way that I do it, even if I don't get an audience, just because I'll be doing the same thing that I would be doing if I had an audience. And so, right? Yeah, this is going absolutely nowhere. I hit a wall. I'm out of things to say, which was kind of the plan. This was the plan. I didn't have anything planned after this. But I feel like, so yeah. Money doesn't define success, I don't think. And, yeah, I think that's the podcast. I think. Unless if something else comes to mind. We'll wait for a minute to see if it comes to mind. The next podcast just came to mind. Okay, actually, we're going to talk about ChatGPT for a sec. I guess, and how using it is not a crime. I feel like South Park hit it on the head with this one, so I think there's no point in going over it. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing. Goodbye.